Welcome back. So we got the market looking pretty good. Banks are doing better. NBFCs, which have been all the rage for the last fortnight or so, are taking it a bit easy. Names like Chola Finance, etc., have seen a vertical up move there. I think just consolidating a bit, nothing more. But the story with NBFCs, of course, has been one of asset quality being better and that's been true with banks as well as compared to what expectations were. The other is the continuing drop in funding costs. Now, AAA rated NBFCs were able to access money at 5.5% for the last couple of months, but with liquidity being ample, cost of funding for the second tier, third tier NBFCs has also come off quite a bit, and that's essentially what we want to focus on. We have Sanjay Chamria, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Magma FinCorp, and R. Sridhar, Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of Indostar Capital Finance, joining in to take us through what they're seeing out there in the market. Mr. Chamria, thanks very much for your time. Great to have you here. Could you tell us, what is your how much has cost of money dropped, for example, for you over the last month and a half, 2 months?
Morning, Prashant. In fact, as you rightly mentioned that due to the ample liquidity in the system and also a lot of intervention taken by the regulator and the government, the cost of funding has gone down for NBFCs across the spectrum. And for our company, in fact, on a blended basis, which is including the overall cumulative cost of fund, it has gone down by 40 basis points in the first half of the year. Whereas the marginal cost of funds, which is the incremental funding that we are taking from the market, there the cost of funding has gone down by almost about 125 to 150 basis points. And in absolute percentage, it was like 10% plus before, say, January, February, and now it is down to almost about 8.5 to 8.75.
No, so, okay. What about October to, this quarter till date, Mr. Chamria? Have you seen that drop further, or those are the numbers that you gave, which includes this period as well?
So this is the position what I give you is as of date, and I have not really seen that there is any further drop in October or November. I think this trend has been continuing and the interest rates are benign. So I think until the time the GDP reaches 7% plus, the interest rates are not going to go up.
Sridhar of Indostar Capital is also here with... just to put the question forth, the same question to Indostar Capital, Mr. R. Sridhar. If you could elaborate, sir, on your funding cost, what does it stand at currently and how has it changed? And currently for the month of November, what was it?
Yes, Sanjay Chamria had said, so our average cost of funding, including the existing one, has gone down by about 50 basis points, and it is likely to go down further because there are a lot of banks which are still not transmitted the rates. So the transmission period is coming in the next 2 to 3 months. So I think by March, another 20-30 basis points, the average cost of funding will come down for us. Also, the incremental cost of money, that is the new resources which we are borrowing now, has gone down, as Sanjay mentioned, 100 to 150 basis points. So this is because of the general trend of lowering interest rates, as well as our credit rating and our new capital raising. All that is helping in raising resources at a lower cost. So generally, the cost of funds is at a good level now, and when the banks transmit the rates, we expect further reduction in the average cost of funds.
Mr. Sridhar, I wanted to, just ask you a little bit more about your plans to completely exit the corporate loan lending business. Your corporate book already, it stands at close to 2,500 crore, and this has been an ongoing exercise. You've been bringing it down over the last 2 years from a corporate loan book of 6,000 crores. It's come down by 3,500 crore rupees. What impact is this going to have on your financials, say till March 2020, which is your planned exit date, in terms of your overall disbursement growth, the kind of retail loan growth that you're anticipating? What impact is it going to have on your margins? If you could just give us how you foresee the next 15 months.
Corporate lending business for us had been very profitable. It was making about 450 crores of profit before tax. But subsequent to the headwinds we faced post the IL&FS, we took the hard decision to slowly wind down this business. And in the last 2 years, we have brought down by 60%. So now 2,500 crores is there. So we do expect in next 12 to 18 months, this will slowly wind down. At the same time, we are also focusing on building the retail book. So the April to October, we didn't do any business except emergency credit linked guarantee scheme disbursements we have done. But from November, we have started lending. So we will be around 200 to 250 crores pre-COVID that we will reach by December. So by exit in January, February, March, we should be more than the pre-COVID level. And then once the impact of the COVID subsides, we will be doing more of retail lending next year. So by March 22, the corporate lending will come down below 10%. So there will be no impact of the exit of corporate lending business because equally profitable retail lending business we will be converting. And also we are looking at portfolio acquisition, inorganic acquisition and all that. So the corporate lending business is not going to overnight disappear. It will go down gradually, and the mix between this and retail will be 90-10 by March 22.
Mr. Chamria, a similar kind of question, but slightly more specific, and this is an overall point. The country's largest bank, SBI, the management recently made a comment, and I'm going to read this out verbatim. They said some banks are extending long-term loans below bond market rates. Again, I mean, I'm not going to name the bank, but I think you read this headline in newspapers, etc. as well. This ties into the point about banks really eating market share of NBFCs, gold finance companies. I mean, forget about NBFCs, even second-tier banks which don't have a strong moat, according to many, will find it harder to grow as compared to some of these larger banks who can afford, because of scale and other reasons, to offer these kind of rates. What happens to companies like you and other NBFCs, sir, in your niche segments and SME lending, etc.?
You are right, Prashant. There is a paradoxical situation in the market today. At one level, you have the perpetually credit-starved MSME segment, which is struggling to get credit from the overall formal banking system. And on the other hand, you have the unprecedented liquidity flow in the market, forcing banks to lend below the long-term G-Sec yield or a bond rate in the market. If you now turn the whole thing on its head, then you see that the overall NPAs the banking system is having from lending to the MSMEs, and MSME lending, is about almost 20% of the overall banking in the country, is actually more than 13 to 14%. So it is actually unprofitable, and they find it difficult to manage the risk, and which is where NBFCs have a role to play because of the proximity to the market, the doorstep banking, and the collection from door to door by visiting the customers every single month, if required, multiple times to collect the installment. So therefore, I see a very clear divide getting further deepened in the coming years, where banks, because of the risk aversion to lend to the MSMEs, will prefer to lend to the NBFCs and get the benefit of the priority sector under the RBI guidelines for on lending to the NBFCs for the purpose of the priority sector. And on the other hand, NBFCs can borrow from banks at about 8%, 8.5% and lend at about 14 to 18% for different asset class and to the different levels of the MSMEs, and thereby take care of the higher operating expenses and also manage the risk accordingly. So I see that kind of a scenario getting further accentuated in the coming years.
Mr. Chamria and Mr. Sridhar, thank you very much, both of you, for joining us with your perspective on, the impact of the big drop in funding costs we are seeing. Good luck to both of you, and hope to catch up with you again soon. Appreciate it. Well, the market